And if we want to get into details, I'm going to be very honest and straightforward right now. I think the UFC is... Yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the RTE, the mini podcast exclusively made for casuals. You already know what it is. And oh boy, on today's episode, I'm very excited about today's episode because there's a lot to talk about. We have to roll back 2 weeks from now. We have to talk about Nchukwi's fight. This what's on today's menu. We got Nchukwi's fight. Then we got UFC London. That was a big fight. And I think the UFC made a mistake on that card because I think they should have made that a numbered card, meaning a pay-per-view, meaning people should have bought for it, should have paid to watch that card. But anyways, the guys in I don't know why I'm keeping my feeling like this. Anyways, the guys in London got a treat. That was a crazy card, and if you didn't watch it, you can go right back and watch it. They were like, I think UFC Dana White paid out 9 bonuses, and the only reason why we're talking about it is because, in some sense, I think what happened at UFC London, it's related to Tafon's loss. I'm going to explain myself in just a little bit. And then finally, if we have time by the end of the show or the episode, we're going to look at what's going on with my older brother. Yeah, Francis. There's a lot going on with him too. A lot of news, Hey, we're talking about new looks. We're talking about new fights. We're talking about new style, everything. So there's a lot to talk about there too. But you know what? Let's get right to it. Now, Nchukwi fought 2 weeks ago. Not this past weekend, but the week after that. You get it. And it was, I even made a video about it. It was one of the fights that I was mostly excited about in that fight card, even though he was the starter of the card, but he's my boy from Bamenda in the northwest region of Cameroon, which where I'm from. And then, I got to support. So the guy was winning the first 2 rounds, guys. Everyone had Tafon, my boy, up on their card. Now let's talk about the fight. Round 1, he controls the fight, he dominates the fight, he imposes his style. So he keeps backing up the Russian fighter. And we cannot forget that he was fighting a very, 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 very tough opponent. He was fighting a Russian fighter that's undefeated. So he fought 10 times and 0 losses. You have to take that into consideration. And then they gave that to my boy. That's tough meat to chew, and he still went for the test, and he still went for it. So round 1, he dominated the fight. He was very dominant. And round 1 to my boy, everyone saw that. Now round 2, same, was pretty similar. Throwing the punches, controlling the range. It was basically set like a lot of feints. It was basically setting traps for his opponents, but the guy didn't really fall in the trap, so he couldn't knock him out, but he wasn't going to put himself into danger. And so round 2 goes to him too, but round 3, I thought his team felt a little comfortable, and then they told him, hey, you know what, you can go for the finish, and that's when everything goes wrong. In my opinion, that's where everything went wrong, in my opinion, because in this sport, I've been watching this sport for, we always, we are casuals here, so I consider myself a casual, and even me, I know that you don't chase for a knockout. You can't chase for it, because if you chase for a knockout, you're going to get a knockout, and that's what happened to my boy. Round 3, he was chasing for the knockout because his team told him, hey, let's go for the finish because we can get the 50K bonus. That's what the relation ties, guys, because in the UFC London, there were 9 bonuses. And that's how great the night was, the UFC event was. And pretty much every knockout was a fight bonus. So what a fight bonus is in the UFC is the UFC president gives out a 50K check as a tip of encouragement, to like, hey, you did well, hey, here, 50K. They call that fight bonus. You get that by either getting a fight of the night or you get performance of the night. Those are the 2 ways. And that's what he was going for, but unfortunately he didn't get it. But anyways, we're looking forward to him in his next fights. That's going to be very interesting. I'm very looking forward to him because that's where we actually see stars growing, guys. And you guys have to pay attention, because all these stars, even Sean O'Malley, he used to be a prelim superstar, because that's how it goes. That's the way you gotta make your way through the prelims, and then you go into the start of the main cards, and then you end up at the main event. So yeah, a lot of ways to go for my boy Tafon. But yeah, I'm watching him and I'm following him, and it seems to me like he's working. He's putting in the work. So another one to look out for. So that's great fun. Now let's talk about UFC London. UFC London happened at the O2 Arena over there in the UK. The event from start to finish was just absolutely nuts. They blew the roof off of that place, like they say. And as a matter of fact, Dana White gave him 9 bonuses. So he gave out 9 $50,000 checks to all the fighters that got a knockout that night. That's how great the fight was. And if we want to get into details, I'm going to be very honest and straightforward right now. I think the UFC is still building Paddy Pimblett, Paddy the Baddy. I like the guy. I like the character. I think the guy can fight. I definitely think he has a potential to be like Conor McGregor. He's like a character just like that. Like a superstar. He already is, just with 2 fights in the UFC. But at this point, I still think that the UFC is trying to build him up. So they're trying to give him, I won't say cheap fights, but not harder opponents. He could fight some harder guys. But I'm looking forward to his rise. Let's get straight to Dan Hooker, the main event. Dan Hooker versus Ray Allen. That was also a great fight. And then that was in my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinion, the people's main event. I watched the fight, very emotional in my standpoint, in my opinion, because I ride with Izzy. Izzy's my boy, and Dan Hooker is his team captain over there at the City Kickboxing at the gym in Auckland, New Zealand. Shout out to my boys. And see Dan Hooker kind of fall like that, was sad. I was happy for his opening, but for me, it was a little bit sad. But at this point, like Dana White said, he can do whatever he wants. So that gave me a little hope. It's like, okay, still at home now. Let's put him in the category of Conor McGregor, where we just use him for fun fights. Now, there's no more title shots or title whatever for them. Just give him a lot of money and then let him fight. And then the more exciting one, the main event, Tom Aspinall versus Volkov. Now, Volkov has never been finished before. Even if he has, never in the first round. He's never been finished in the first round, and not in a brutal fashion, not in a brutal way like Tom just did. And Tom is going to be a problem in my brother's division. And I'm sitting here, I'm thinking my brother should be worried about him, but not really. For now, my bro has bigger fish to eat at the moment. But Tom Aspinall is really someone to think about, because he's going to be a great, like the country England and even Europe is going to carry him, and he's going to be a great superstar, I think. And he's very talented. He has the speed, and in his recent interviews, he's talking about he's working on his strength. So it's pretty good. Can't wait to see him fight the French guy, Cyril Gain. I think I heard his coach say that maybe the UFC is trying to arrange like a UFC France versus England. That would be a very fun one over there in Paris. So that would be a fun test for Aspinall. But he says he's not even ready, and I follow him because I think he's right. Because throughout all his career, he was always saying like he doesn't want to rush. And right now he's thinking tuivasa, which I'm over here we ride the Shui vibe. So I'm a big Batman fan. He wants him and then Cyril, which I think is good. So by next year, 2023, he gets his shot. And then thank you so much for watching. It's all about consistency. Your boy is back. And hey, like always, I hope you're doing well. You're watching this video. I hope trying to get where you want to be in life. I hope you're pushing yourself. I hope you're pushing limits. And like we always say here, stay safe, stay